of AEW. Not a lot. Just enough to remind me why I don't watch it. Oh, this is already funny. Just the headline. The list of moves and actions that are now banned from AEW or need to be approved by the company.
Maybe that's why Nash is pissed off, because he went for Rock and Austin and not try to duplicate him.
Well, it'd be easier to duplicate him. You only have to learn 5 moves.
Like you said, and we've all been saying, Tony Khan, you need a hierarchy, and he gets one, and then we make fun of it.
Because he's sitting back there talking about the Brock match, and it's finally we had a wrestling match. Finally, we got 2 guys telling a story. They weren't outside in the ring the whole time. One of them
was he not watching the same match as we were?
Yeah, those games, man, I would say, like, for me, like, the best ones, I would say, are, like, the ones where they try to get a certain, like, time.
This is my entire IT team right here on screen. Everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Wrestlechat with Vince McMahon. Let's get ready to rumble!
The game has arrived. The cerebral assassin, ready to engage in warfare.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing in at 255 pounds, Triple H!
Over the last decade, we have seen this man's dominance grow. From a blue blood to a degenerate to a multiple-time WWE champion.
Welcome back to the Nation Network, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. If you haven't heard, this is something that just recently showed up on my timeline, and I had no intention of going live, but as soon as I saw this, I had to get cleaned up a little bit, do my hair, get the lighting going, and make sure we get up here and chat about it. If you haven't heard, and I'm about to show you, here we go. Breaking, I caught this from the Heartbreak Corp. Breaking news, Stephanie McMahon has announced on her Instagram that both she and Triple H will be leaving the WWE with immediate effect after WrestleMania. Damn. The decision has been made as TKO Group Holdings wants someone more creative to lead the WWE. You think? TKO has clearly told Triple H they are not happy with how things have been going recently with the low ticket sales, the overall poor production, which we all know about. Their appearance on last night's Raw, so this is a couple nights ago. I guess I'm a little behind on this, but I just saw it today. So on Monday night's episode of Raw was a tribute to both, and we may expect them to appear regularly going forward until WrestleMania. When asked how he feels about the decision, Triple H said, quotes, "It's the beginning of a new era." I got to say, internet, you almost got me. Because I was indeed like, oh shit, and I was getting all ready, and I was like, and then that thing in my head said, well, wait a minute, we always do a little fact checking first. And it's actually right there if you look at the source. Most people skip over that detail. It's April Fool's. So I don't know if I got anybody that hadn't already seen this before, but if not, April Fool's. Why is this such a good April Fool's joke? Because people wanted it to be true. You had to want this to be a real thing, didn't you? my first reaction wasn't, oh, damn. It was like, about damn time. So, yeah, there's a difference between those two things, isn't there? So, sadly, that doesn't mean this will not come to fruition immediately after WrestleMania. Maybe this is a hearkening of things to come. Maybe you're speaking it into existence. We can only hope. Something has got to change. I am a firm believer that Vince McMahon is going to show up at WrestleMania on screen. I really think so. Now, night 1 or night 2, not sure. I'll be more surprised if he doesn't than if he does. So we'll see if that prediction comes to fruition. But no, he's not going anywhere. At least not officially, and at least not yet. Everything else is to be determined, as they like to say in the business. We'll see. So, April Fools. I wasn't planning on doing anything for April Fools, but then I saw this, and then it almost got me, and I said, oh, maybe I'll get one or two of you. So that was the likeliness and the logic going on behind that. In the meantime, something else from Monday Night Raw, and this is a real deal. Now, having watched the match itself, I saw this spot and said, damn, that's fucking dangerous right there. That didn't look good. Here's a fan capturing it from a different angle. This could have been tragic. I mean, this really had the potential to be like career ending. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Io Sky went through the ropes and landed on her neck. And it's hard to watch. Slow motion, by the way. That's why I went with this one, plus the angle. Look at this. Right there. Knees clipped the ropes. And damn it, that could have been it. Oh, look at the reactions. Kyrie's reaction really sums it up. As we look at this is why I hate this dive move, this tope thing. Because think back to WrestleMania, I forget which one, how far back, when Undertaker, and I think it's the last time he ever did it. In his case, he goes over the top rope, right? And he was supposed to have been caught by Snuka's son, who was disguised as a cameraman for that, and he caught all the heat. And I was like, no. It's not his fault. Taker didn't clear the top rope. His knee pad just clipped the rope, and that's what happens. And this is the same thing that happens here. You watch her knee pad, and it just clips the middle rope. And that's what pulls her down. You can't blame anyone on that other than the person making the move. That ain't nobody else's fault at the end of the day. That is what it is, but at the end of the day, if your knee pad catches the ropes, physics is going to take over, and you're going down. So that's a move that needs to go away. It just needs to go away. It's not worth the payoff. And how many times have we seen people, and even recently, what just happened with their golden child who's not going to make it to wrestle at the age of 21 at this rate? Javon Evans just recently had the same exact problem where, he overshot the target, went head first into the ramp. That steel friggin' ramp. I mean, it's not, what's the payoff? We've seen it a million times. It's not a, oh, wow moment anymore. It's so yesterday's news that it's not worth watching anymore. And I think the best clip that I've seen that sums things up is Stevie Richards said, if it doesn't look like a fight, then it looks like a dance. And this all looks like a dance, which is why I think you've lost your base audience, which is why I think people are not looking to spend money on WrestleMania tickets and travel. And the fact that, the economy's not in a great place right now, and people are being laid off of jobs and things like that. It's not a comfortable time for people financially speaking. So you're adding all this to the mix. Definitely not reading the room. Speaking of Stevie Richards, and this is going to wrap up today's Wrestle Chat that I wasn't even planning on doing until I saw a really good job on the April Fool's thing. Again, he and I agree like 99.9% at a time, and I would have said 100% up until this. Now, I haven't watched it yet. I literally just saw the thumbnail up there, and I will be bouncing over to it as soon as this is done. But if you look over here in the top right. The thumbnail says she was horrible, referring to Stephanie's appearance on Monday Night Raw. I couldn't agree less with that statement. I thought the bit with her and Cody finally made that match something. Because going in, it was just not. It was going to be great to see those two guys going in the ring and, fighting it out for the title, whatever. They're the guys that can do that and deliver. But there was no investment. There was no, and it clearly, all the tides are in the direction that Cody's going to turn heel. And I still hope he doesn't. That doesn't mean he can't do some heel stuff. They've definitely set the table where he's always relinquished the crossing of the line. Every time during the Roman matches, the 2 years in a row, there are always those moments where Cody was going to go to the dark side, but he didn't. When you've been building that for 3 years, let him do it. Doesn't mean he is, but in that moment, in that match, with that individual, the way Stephanie set it up was perfect. Your dad knew how to get down and dirty and roll with anyone. You are not your father. That was perfect. And then he turns around and says, I got 2 words for you. Thank you. Yeah, so for anyone to say that appearance wasn't good, I'm sorry. I will very much disagree with you. And I'm not a big Stephanie supporter, but I got news for you. We talk about AJ Lee coming back. Her mic skills aren't where they used to be. Stephanie hadn't been in the ring in quite a minute, especially not cutting a promo. And that was, in my book, that actually has saved night one at this moment from being mediocre at best. Now, what do they do with that for the next couple of weeks? The problem is they're too far out. In my opinion, I think it's just too much setup. Because they're not going to have a one-on-one match between now and then. And this has been going on already for 2 weeks. So you're talking about almost 5 to 6 weeks before the match with no actual interaction with each other. Meaning in a match of some sort. Maybe they will do a tag match at some point in time between now and then just so that they can at least have something in there. And at the same time, do you really want them to do that? Because the friggin' injury bug is running through that company right now. Do you want to even run the risk of, God forbid, not that Cody won't go in there with one arm. We've seen that. But do you want to even run the risk that these two guys are both past the 40-year mark, are going to get an injury heading into Mania? They've lost already so much with their young guys in Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. You can't really roll the dice on that, I don't think, either. So it's a combination of things where you've got too much time to kill, and you can't let them really get physical without rolling the dice. That's all I can say, because that would definitely be, in my opinion, that's like really rolling the dice in a big way. If you got those kind of guts and cojones, more power to you. For me personally, if I'm in charge, am I going to do that? I'm going to say a big no on that. It's not worth the risk. Again, look what just about happened to Io. And who knows? I mean, she might be injured from that, and she just finished the match. We see them do that all the time. So, I mean, hopefully she's fine, but that was a brutal, brutal landing. One of the worst I have seen in a long time. And the fact that she was able to walk away from it is a true testament. God was with her. No two ways about it. All right, that's all I got for this unplanned Wrestle Chat. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for everybody who joined us yesterday for WrestleMania. If you haven't seen it, my recommendation is go see the WrestleMania Countdown show. It's about 15 minutes long, and it will get you completely up to speed. In case you've missed some stuff along the way, you'll know exactly why all the matches are happening. You'll see all the history behind them. It took me a little while to put that together, so I'd appreciate the watch. And then from there, just jump into Mania. It was a good show. Everybody had a great time, and we had a good chat going on, and we had some good numbers during the live show itself. I was real happy about that. And it only crashed one time, and it was very early on. I was able to pick it up and keep it going. And if you're watching it today, you won't even know about it. There's a little bit of a hiccup, and that's all you're going to see. So Enjoy the show. If you haven't already seen it, go see it. Meantime, I remind you, like I do every time here on Wrestlechat, I want you to
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle.
Bye-bye.